Hey everyone, so we have yet another video kind of discussing the drama and controversy surrounding The Last Jedi. Now, it's no secret that Mark Hamill doesn't really agree with the direction that they took his character in. New interview clips have actually surfaced in which Mark still seems to not have accepted it completely, much like a lot of the audiences have not accepted it that are going to see this film. Pretty big quote that he says, kind of telling to see where he's at just in terms of the character in the movie and how he thinks that it should have been handled. He says, and I quote, "I said to Ryan, I said, Jedis don't give up. I mean, even if he had a problem, he might take a year to try and regroup, but if he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. So right there, we had a fundamental difference, but it's not my story anymore, it's somebody else's story, and Ryan needed me to be a certain way to make the ending effective. That's the crux of my problem. Luke would never say that, I'm sorry. Well, in this version, see, I'm talking about the George Lucas Star Wars. This is the next generation of Star Wars, so I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker, but he's not my Luke Skywalker. But I had to do what Ryan wanted me to do because it serves the story well. But listen, I still haven't accepted it completely. But it's only a movie, I hope people like it, I hope they don't get upset, and I came to really believe that Ryan was the man they needed for this job." So there you go. It seems like Mark Hamill did have a lot of hesitation and was very adverse to this version of Luke Skywalker, but he did sort of warm up to it when he thought about it as almost a different character and tried to remove it from the sort of George Lucas version of Luke that they had developed over the 3 movies that they did together. But I guess he does actually have a point that in this story, this Luke would have served it better rather than doing the other version. I think there is a middle ground. I think they could have worked around the story to try and find a way to actually incorporate both elements of it had it actually gone that direction, but it seems like obviously they thought it was time to move on and just really put the focus on the new characters that these films have introduced. So what do you guys think about this? What are your thoughts on Mark's comments? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Do you see where he's coming from in the sense that he says the version of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi is not necessarily his Luke Skywalker, that he had to think of it as a different character to actually get over the challenges and differences in agreement that he had with Rian Johnson when developing the story? Drop your thoughts down in the usual spot, and for more updates on The Last Jedi and everything Star Wars, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thanks again for checking this video out. If you want to get even more updates from us, check out our social media platforms, our website for the latest news and editorials, and if you want to see our content improve and help us out, donate to us on Patreon and you can get exclusive rewards.